Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So imagine trying to organize hundreds of books without a bookshelf. Sounds chaotic, right? In Java, arrays are like your digital bookshelf. They allow you to store and organize multiple values under a single variable name. Neat, efficient and easy to manage. Whether it's a list of student grades, a set of temperatures or even game scores, arrays give you the power to group related data together and access each item instantly using an index. Instead of creating dozens of variables, Java arrays streamline your code and make it faster, cleaner and much easier to work with. Today we will unlock the power of arrays, how to create them, use them and even manipulate them to build smarter Java programs. So I hope you'll be enjoying this video in which we will be learning about Java arrays. So if you understand this video and if you enjoy this amazing tutorial, so remember to hit a like, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's dive into it. Alright, so we are in the computer screen, and like I've told you that in this video I will be telling you that how you can use arrays in Java, because we have understand that how we can use strings, how we can use loops in Java. Now we need to understand that if we are working with arrays, so how we can use arrays and basically what's the purpose to use arrays in Java. So if we talk about arrays, so arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variable instead of declaring separate variables for each value. So just you can just say arrays are just used to store multiple values in a single variable. That's the use of arrays when we are working with Java. So to declare an array, define the variable type with square brackets. If you want to use array and if you define the variable type in an array, so for that you need to use square brackets like I'm using with a string here. Like if I'm creating one string and if I want to define the variable type of my string, which is an array, so for that I will be using a square bracket, and after that I will be defining my variable name. Like here I have written cars. We have now declared a variable that holds an array of strings. To insert values to it, you can place the values in a comma separated list inside curly braces. If you want to just insert the values in your variable which you have created here, because you have to write the variable in your square brackets like here I have written, and then after writing the variable name, the array name, you need to just add the values in your array as well. Like if I am creating one, you can say a string, and if I am declaring a variable to it, so obviously I need to add values in my string as well. So this is the values, or you can say these are the values which we have inserted in our strings, like Volvo, BMW, Ford, Mazda. These are the car names which I have just inserted in this curly braces, the values which I have inserted. You can insert any other values as well. It's not compulsory to insert the values I am inserting. So you can use different things here. You can just add fruit names as well, you can add vegetable names as well. So you can add as many as you want. I have just written 4 here, but you can add 5, 10, 11 or 15 if you want. Then to create an array of integer, like if you want to add numbers in your curly braces, like here I am writing the string values here. So for that you can create an array of integers. Like I have created one integer array like this, and in this integer array I have written my variable name as mynum. You can give any name of the variable, like if you are creating an integer variable or an integer array or an array of integers, so I think the best name for that will be mynum, as I have written my variable name, but it can be any variable name you want to give here. So I have written in this case mynum, and then in this mynum variable I have just written all the values which I want should be printed in my output. Then how you can access the elements of an array, before understanding that I will be opening my NetBeans IDE, because now we have understand that what are arrays and what's the purpose to use arrays in Java, because we use arrays just to store multiple values. So this is the simple use of arrays which we are when we are working with Java. So what I'm going to do is I will be removing all the things in this file which we have written, because we have understand that how we can just use break and continue statements, and I hope you understand how we can use it. So I will be making another bracket like this here, and I will be removing this bracket because I have already created 2 brackets here, so I will be not needing any other bracket here now. and removing this bracket as well. So moving here, now what I'm going to do is I'll be pressing enter so that I can get space after one bracket which I have created. Then moving on to my Word document here, if I just show you, so we have created you can say a array, and in this array we have just defined the variable type as well with square brackets here. And then when you have declared a variable that holds an array of a string, so you need to insert the value to it. So these are the values which we have inserted in our arrays because we are creating an array of a string. That's the reason we have just inserted these values. So what I'm going to do is now, before just pasting all these things and before understanding these all examples, we need to understand how we can access the elements of an array. So you can access an array element by referring to the index number. Like for that you need to use the index number, and I've already told you about how you can use index number. If you don't know about index number, you can check out my previous video which I have uploaded in this Java tutorial series, from which you will be having a good understanding about index numbers, that how we can use it and what's the purpose to use it. So just if you want to access the elements of an array, so for that you need to just use index number there. This statement accesses the value of the first element in cars. So the statement which we are using in example here is accessing the value of the first element in cars. Like the first element we have written in this car variable is Volvo. In this array of a string we have written our first value Volvo, so we will be defining the index 0 if we want to print this value. And when I will be just defining this value here, means this 0, so this is the index of this Volvo which is 0. So when you will be printing it, you will be getting this Volvo in your output because we are printing 0 and the index of 0 is Volvo. That's the reason you are getting is. And then if you want to change an array element here in arrays, so to change the value of a specific element you have to refer to the index number, and this is the way that how you can refer to an index number. If I'm just changing a value of this Volvo to this Opel, so for that I need to use again the index number as I am using at the top. So I will be defining car 0, then I will be writing the value which I want to be changed, and I also need to define the index number where I want this value should be inserted. So here we have written car 0 equal to Opel because I want this value should be printed, and this value should not be getting next time when I will be running this thing. So when you will be running this thing, you will be getting this Opel in the place of Volvo because you have defined the index 0, and in this index we are only getting one value which is Volvo. That's the reason you will be getting this Opel in the place of Volvo because we have defined the index 0, and index 0 we are getting only this Volvo value printed. So if we move down and if you want to understand that how you can check the length of an array to find out how many elements an array has used the length property, so you can just use this thing. If I am creating one array of strings and I want to check that how many values I have written in my array or in my strings, so for that you can use cars.length, means you can just give the name of your variable. I have created a car variable, that's the reason I have written cars, and then you need to use this dot length thing here. After using this dot length, when you will be printing this thing, you will be getting the number that how many elements you are using in your string. Like if I'm using 4, so in this case you will be getting the output as 4 printed. Moving on to my Java arrays here, I will be just copying this first example now, and after copying this first example I'll be moving on to my NetBeans IDE. I'll be pasting it here, and remember when you are just using these all things, you need to print this thing as well, and for printing it I will be using system.out.println. so I will be writing system.out.println like this, and then here I will be writing the name of my variable. In this case I have written my variable name cars, so I will be writing cars here, and I will be running it. For running I will be pressing right click on my main.java file, and simply I will be pressing run file, or you can press shift and F6 to run your file. After pressing it, you can just see we are just getting this java.lang.string printed here. We are not getting these values printed, but we want these values should be printed. So for that I will be getting my I will be just writing my array name which I want to give here. So I will be writing here as you can say string. So you can just give here the value as a string as well. So I will be writing a string now. After doing this, if I run this thing here, so you can just see we are getting an exception error. It is saying me that uncompilable source code because it is not a statement which we are using here. So moving on to my Word document, if we want to access an element, so how we are accessing it, we are accessing with index number. So I want that this index number should be printed. I want this Volvo should be printed. So for that I will be using one index number in my array. So moving on to my NetBeans IDE, I will be just writing 1 here. And if I write 1 here, and then if we print this cars thing here like this, so if I run this thing here now, you can just see again we are getting an exception error, and this exception error is saying me that these all things cannot be defined. If I remove here and then if I write cars, and then again in this case if I run, so you can just see all the things are running and we are getting this string values running in the output. So that's the way how you can use it. Or you can use this thing as well here like this, in which you can define your value or your array which you want to be printed here in your output or in your terminal. So you can define that values as well. Moving on to Word document, that how you can access an element of an array. So this is the way that how you can access it. If I'm writing this value here like this, and if I'm printing this, so I'm accessing the array with the index number. So this is the way how you can do that. So here if I want that this Volvo should be printed, I have written cars 0 because this is my variable name which I have written, and then if I run it like this, so you can just see we are getting this Volvo printed. If I write 5 here, so now you have to see what variable, or you can say what output we will be getting here. After running, you can just see we are getting an error. Why we are getting an error? Because we are writing 5 and the 5 index number is not been defined to anyone. We are getting 0 the index number of Volvo, 1 the index number of BMW, 2 the index number of Ford, and 3 the index number of Mazda. So you will be getting the values 0 till 3 here. So if you write like this 0, and then if I write 3 like this here, so if I run it now, so again you will be getting an error, but this time you are just getting this thing printed because we are writing this ratio thing. And when you are writing this ratio thing, so it means that you are first of all defining the value till 0. If I write like this here in this ratio again like this, so you can just see we are getting an exception error. But if I write 3 here, so you will be now getting this value printed, the Mazda, because we are getting the index starting from 0, and this Volvo is 0, BMW is 1, Ford is 2, and Mazda is 3. So that's the reason you will be getting this Mazda printed. If I run it, you can just see we are getting this Mazda printed in our string value which we have written here. So I hope you understand how we are just using these all things here and how we are using arrays with strings. So moving on to my Word document, again if we are using same thing with number values, so we need to see how we are using it. So moving on to this variable, or you can say this array which we have created, the array of integers. So how you can use this here in the place of the string array of strings which we are using. So moving on here, I will be just writing my variable name here which I have written. So I have written my array of variable name as mynum. So here I will be writing my variable name mynum, and then I will be writing 2. In 2 we are getting the value 30 because 10 is 0, 20 is 1, and 30 is 2, which is the index number of 30. So we need to check what output we are getting. If I run it here, you can just see we are getting 30 in the output. Then same goes if I write 1 here, so you will be getting 20 in your output. You can just see, and in the place of 1 if I write 0, so you will be getting 10 in your output. You can just see here, and then if I just add 4, or you can say 3, then we will be getting this 40 in the output. Run it and you can just see. So this is the way that how you can use these array of strings and array of integers in Java. So I hope you understand how we are using it. Then moving on, and now we need to understand that how we can change an array element. If I want to change this Volvo value to another value, so how we can do that. So for doing that, you have to just use a simple thing. You just need to define the same variable you are using. Like if I want to create a variable, if I'm creating a string again, and then I will be writing my variable name as cars, and in this cars variable I will be defining different car names like Audi, and then you can just write here like Fortuner, then you can just write here Revo. You can write different car names you want to add. You can write Toyota. So like this I have written different car names in my strings which I have created. Now what I'm going to do is I will be printing this string, and obviously I will be using system.out.println function to do that. So I will be writing println like this. Then moving down here, I will be now what I'm going to do is I will be closing this thing. We have not done that. And then in this you can say in this bracket I will be just writing my variable name. My variable name is cars, and I want this Audi should be changed into another car name because I don't want this Audi should be printed in my output. These all things should be printed, but this in the place of this Audi thing I should get any other car name here. So for doing that, what I'm going to do is I will be adding here the thing like 0, and then after writing this 0 I will be writing cars, then I will be writing 0, and I want in the place of this thing I should get civic printed. So now if we do that, and then if I run this thing here, so I will be running it by pressing run file. So you can just see we are getting civic in the place of this Audi printed, because now we are just writing like I want this Audi should not be printed. In the place of it I will be getting this civic printed. But if I remove this thing here, and then if I print this 0 here like this, we have printing here cars 0. So if we do that here by pressing run file, you can just see this time we are getting OD because now we have removed that value. So that's the way that how you can use this thing here to change the array element in Java. So I hope you understand how we are changing the element in array in Java, how we are using arrays in Java. So that's the way to use it. And then moving down, if you want to see how much the length of your array is, so for that you can use the variable name and dot length thing here, or you can say a dot length function which we have to use. So if you want to check that how much the length of my array is, so for that I will be writing cars and I will be writing dot length, which is my variable name to check the length of my array. So I have written 4 values in my string which I have created. So obviously I will be getting 4 in my output. I need to just check I'm getting 4 or not. So if I run it here, you can just see we are getting 4 in the output because in our array of strings we have created 4 strings. That's the reason we are getting 4 in the output. So I hope you understand how we are using arrays of strings in Java, how we are using arrays of integer in Java, and how we are normally using arrays in Java. So if you have understand this video and if you enjoyed that how we have used arrays in Java, and if you understand what's the purpose to use of arrays in Java, so just remember to hit a like, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I will be uploading in future. And remember to share this video as well so more people can understand and they can have a good mindset that how we can use arrays in Java and what's the purpose to use it. So just I will be meeting you in next tutorial or in next project of Java. So for today, goodbye.